All right, good evening to everyone. Welcome to Red, White, and True News, where life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is alive and well. Hope everyone's doing great this Sunday night, ready for a new week, rejuvenated, whatever you like to do during the weekend. So, Mr. Brulianis is here. How you doing, sir?
Doing good, doing good. How are you?
Doing fabulous, doing fabulous. Yeah, we just wanted to go over some things. Recap of the week and some extra things in within the news cycle that actually was just breaking this morning. The tax refunds, the new tax season, I guess everyone knows, is upon us now. And President Trump released yesterday that it is going to be some of the biggest tax refund checks Americans have ever seen. Yeah, so that's pretty good news. It says right here, the leading contender to become President Trump's next Fed Reserve chair said the administration expects larger tax refunds and higher take-home pay next year as many Americans continue to express concerns about affordability. This comes from Kevin Hassett. He's his what is he? Daggum, I don't remember exactly what title he has right now, right off the top of my head, but we're going to see the biggest refund cycle ever in the history of America. And people are going to get massive refund checks. Um, the national, he's the National Economic Council director. That's what he is. He said in a Fox Business interview with Varney and Company, we're expecting just that part of it alone to be worth a couple $1,000 refund. The numbers are striking. Here, listen to this. During his Wednesday evening address, President Trump said the administration expects the largest tax refund season of all time next spring and claimed many families would save between $11,000 and $20,000 annually. Hassett backed it up with a claim and pushed back against sentiment from a recent Fox News poll, which found that 44% of those surveyed say they are falling behind financially, and 74% view the economy as not so good or bad. Well, you know why that is because all this stuff hasn't kicked into effect, so everybody's still seeing it as if it, under a Biden economy. That's
Right.
why that's. But it says you saw in the jobs report that wages for the typical worker were up 3.7%. So if you're running 3.7% wage increases at 1.6% core inflation, then real wages are growing at a rate of about 2.5%. By our estimates right now, blue collar workers have already seen an almost $2,000 raise this year after inflation because wages are growing so much faster than prices. So, I mean, that's pretty good news coming
Mm-hmm.
this tax season. So, like I said in many of my, well, not many, but a couple of the videos, that by quarter 2 of next year, people are really going to start to see a drastic change in their wallets, in my belief. What do you think, Chris?
Oh yeah, it's just part of that big beautiful bill, and this is where I've been saying for a long time. People have been complaining. I said, just hold on because this thing's going to take effect starting January 1. And what it's going to do, it's going to kick back to this tax season, which taxes are due April 15th. Everybody knows that. But this is all going to be part of it, and it's going to revert back to this year, which is going to be his first year as president. So, you know, it's a great thing that this is going to happen, but people just need to don't jump the gun, don't put the cart before the horse, because this thing's going to be slow, but it's going to happen, and when it does happen, everybody's going to be surprised.
I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. Um, there's speaking of energy, which energy costs will be coming down soon. You guys better thank the good Lord that Kamala Harris did not get elected, because had she have, this story right here would have been a lot more broad. There's another blackout in San Francisco. These always happen in California. Anybody ever wondered why? Well, this is a massive power outage plunged large swaths of San Francisco into darkness Saturday, knocking out electricity of hundreds of homes. Turn this down. And leaving self-driving cars stalled in city streets. Pacific Gas and Electric Company did not immediately say what caused blackouts to roughly 1/3 of the utility companies' customers in the city. Fire officials posted on X about 3:15 that at least some of the blackouts were caused by a fire that broke out inside a PG&E substation at 8th and Mission Streets. Yeah, whatever. The outage darkened large parts of the city north side, starting in the Richmond and Presidio neighborhoods. PG&E said in an update Sunday morning that damage from the fire in its substation was significant and extensive, noting that repairs and restoration. What? Yeah, I ain't buying that. So yeah, more of their new Green Deal crap.
Yep.
That's what that is. These rolling blackouts would have been all across America, folks. With this, if had she have been elected, brownouts and blackouts would have been a daily occurrence in America.
Well, where Newsom also slit his throat on this whole ordeal is he really pushed and they passed it that starting in, what is it, 2030, I think it is. Could be wrong on the, but they're no longer going to be allowed to sell fuel-powered vehicles in California. They want everything to be electric. Well, here's the biggest thing. They don't have the infrastructure, for one, to power all electric vehicles. For two, I don't know where he got his information, but he must have got it from a bunch of nitwits sitting in the corner playing with their thumbs, because in order to produce the electricity they need, there's some things that they have to have. For one, they have to have generators. For two, the generators are run off of fossil fuels, i.e. diesel fuel and oil. They have to have them. They can't produce energy without generators. Now, the generators that's going to be required to run electricity for the entire state is phenomenal amounts. They don't have the infrastructure at all. They can't build the infrastructure that would produce enough electricity for charging every vehicle in the state of California. There's no way. That's an impossible situation. And in order to do that, you talk about needing land for these data centers. They need that for this damn electric companies. Well, here's another thing Newsom found out here recently that slit his throat also. One of the largest refinery companies in California just left. So with the refineries shutting down and moving out of the state of California, how are they going to produce all that electricity? They can't.
Yeah.
There's no way they can. So, yes, they're going to constantly have these rolling blackouts because they're going to have all these power surges from everybody wanting their vehicles uploaded. But and here's one of the funniest parts about it is, too, I'm looking at this Business Insider. This is by Lauren Edmonds. She's talking about how Waymo shut down service during San Francisco's blackout because the driverless taxis got confused. Now, why did they get confused? Well, according to this right here, a Waymo spokesperson told Business Insiders that the company has suspended its services in the area because of a power outage. They're working diligently to close coordination with city officials and hoping to bring service back online soon. But the power outage affected about 130,000 Pacific Gas and Electric customers on Saturday. In an next post on Sunday, the company said a fire caused significant and extensive damage to its substation, and they're looking at trying to restore power for 21,000 San Francisco residents. Now, Elon Musk used this incident to promote his company's own robo-taxis, of course, which are not affected by this outage. Because he said that robo-taxis, as in Teslas, use cameras and AI to find their way around, whereas Waymo uses a suite of light sensors, radar, cameras, and detailed maps that are uploaded regularly and regularly updated. That means sudden changes in the air where the robo-taxis from Waymo operates could impact the ability to navigate if power outage is out. Therefore, they can't get any updates on their cameras or on the map or anything. So, yeah, you're going to be going along. All of a sudden, you're a dead stop. Then what?
Then you ain't going nowhere.
Exactly. Right. And this company's been going since they're owned by Alphabet Incorporated, and it debuted the autonomous ride hailing service to the public in 2018 in the Phoenix metro area. It expanded to Austin and Atlanta with its partnership with Uber, but it hasn't been smooth sailing at all. They've collided with gates, chains, vehicles. It hit and killed a beloved bodega cat in San Francisco, which really got the residents up in arms over that. So there's a lot of bugs to be working out, but California does not have the infrastructure for this kind of situation at all. Because if they have these rolling blackouts, they're shut down. I think it's hilarious myself.
Oh, yeah. They've done it themselves.
I think it's just funnier than hell myself. For the simple fact is because we've become a society that wants ease. Well, drive yourself or ride a damn bicycle or take a taxi. Spend some money, take a taxi. I don't know what these things would charge to ride in, but you know what? You guys in San Francisco live better than 90% of the population that's not in California, or even some that's in California. Spend that damn money on a taxi.
Damn right.
Or call a ride share or something. Yep. But there's no reason to do this, automated crap when you have other means, and you ain't going to have the problems. Unless the one in front of you that shuts down because it gets confused where it's at.
Do you remember who that refining company was that left California?
I can look it up real quick. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I can't say it.
I don't think I remember the
Valero.
name. Valero?
Valero left.
Huh. Valero, I thought that was a gas company.
It is gas and oil.
Gas and oil? Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, I got you now. Okay. Oil refining.
Yep.
I got you.
Chevron, who's been there for 146 years, been in the state of California for 146 years, they're gone.
Wow.
And Chevron is a huge, huge refinery business.
Sure. Isn't that who Bush and Cheney belonged to? Or no, that was Halliburton.
That's Halliburton.
Yeah.
But
he just died, didn't he?
Been in California for 146 years. He's no longer there.
Oh, wow. Jeez.
And if memory serves me right, Valero, which is a Canadian oil company, they've been there a hell of a long time too, but they're gone. And there's more going to pull out.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. Just like New York, man. People are fleeing them states like crazy.
Yep. But the biggest problem is too with these taxis these automated taxis that's shutting down, and why it's getting affected so much is because, like Elon says, they depend on electricity in order to upload maps all the time, sensors on the lights. Instead of just red, yellow, and green, they got sensors on there, tell them where they're at. Well, when you got a blackout, guess what? It don't know where it's at. It's just flabbergasted. It's just kind of useless. It's like you go to use a pencil sharpener, they don't work no more. Then what do you do?
Get out a box knife?
Yeah, exactly.
Or your pocket knife?
Yeah, exactly. So, I think it's kind of hilarious that people depend on these things to get around, because Newsom and his big green deal in the state of California. But if anybody's been paying any attention ever since he's been governor, he's basically destroyed that state with this kind of stupid shit.
Well, that's what they want.
But
they want this. Ultimately, this is what they want right here. That way, if it goes down, you're dependent on them to bail your ass out.
But like this article said, they lost power to 130,000, and they was hoping to get it restored for 21,000.
Jeez.
So.
Wow.
Kind of stupid.
Yeah,
the good part about it gives all your linemen a job. It keeps all your linemen going. It gives them overtime and hazardous duty pay. Trying to get everything fixed.
Yeah, let me tell you, when I was in the energy industry, there's a lot of being a public platform. I got to be real careful. A lot of things I'm not able to say, but let's just say there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
So there was a solar field out there in California that Gavin Newsom started back. I don't know what year was it? 2012 or 15, or maybe it's his predecessor, and then he picked it up, and then he wanted to expand the project. I think it was. That project still to this day is not done. And it's over budget by like, what was it, $100 and some million it's over budgeted by? Like, you got to be kidding me.
That's not surprising.
No, not in the least. Not with him. So, but speaking of not surprising, remember Chuck Todd?
Yep.
Yeah, the disgraced, what is he? Oh, he was fired, I think, from NBC's Meet the Press, I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. During an appearance on Sunday's broadcast on Newsmax TV, America, quote unquote, America Right Now political commentator and former moderator of NBC's Meet the Press, Chuck Todd, addressed the public's apparent decline in the trust in the media. And guess what he blames this on, folks? The algorithm of big tech is why he claims that the American public doesn't trust the mainstream media. Like, no, we don't trust you, you moron, because all the lies you spew out of your mouth. It says, well, I think the short answer is yes. When asked, Todd attributed big tech to and algorithms to the deceit within the media. And I think, look, we haven't had reliable political leadership. And I think one of the things I like to remind people is one of the reasons I think trust in media has fallen to so low is, remember what the media is. It's a reflection of, I say I'm good as the sources I have, not necessarily the sources I want at times. To borrow a phrase from the late Donald Rumsfeld, meaning if you're getting untrustworthy sources, you may be reporting untrustworthy information, right? You get my drift? What an arrogant. Oh, jeez.
Kind of that show that's on, what is it, SNBC with Joe and his wife?
Yeah, Mika Brzezinski. Morning Joe.
Mike. Actually, it wasn't a hot mic. It was actually the show. She was upset because she said if I remember this right, she said, "People, we are here to tell people what they need to know."
Yeah,
Now,
it should tell you everything you need to know right there.
really? So we're not supposed to think for ourselves?
Nope. Nope. Not at all. Because they want you to believe what they're telling you. The
Yep,
big lie.
exactly. And that's why, in all honesty, I don't watch any news anymore. I don't even watch Fox News anymore because I've even caught them on some things. But I would, I try to find news sources that are not Republican or Democrat, ones that's right down the middle, and tell it like it is. And that's getting harder and harder to find. Newsmax is one of them. One American News is another. And believe it or not, I watch the BBC at times because the BBC has no problem telling exactly what's what. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, they're getting ready to pay Trump a bunch of money. He's fixing to sue them for like $5 billion. They're the ones that twisted his words on January the 6th.
Oh, yeah. And then they come out and apologize. That feller came out and apologized. Well, that apology ain't good enough. You're the guys that took everything out of context and made this little short video.
Too late. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's FO right there.
Well, they cropped stuff out of one piece of what he said, and then they basically flipped it around and added this to that and made it sound like, he told people to go down there and go into the Capitol and just basically put words in his mouth that he never even said in the form in which they claim he said it.
Yeah.
So, man, I think Donald Trump's made up to this point, I think he's made over $150 million in defamation lawsuits in his first year as president. I know he got a little Georgie Stephanopoulos from ABC. He got him for $25 million alone.
Yep. Yep.
And rightfully so, man. The guy deserves every penny of it.
And they're trying to say that he as president, he don't have the right to do that. Well, he's not suing them as president. He's suing them as an individual.
Individual, right.
And people seem to forget something. The president of the United States is a representative of the people. All right. Granted, he's the president of the corporation of the United States of America. He's the head honcho. He is the CEO. He is the top dog. But he's also, when he's not in the government, he's a regular person. Now, even though they did all this while he was president, you can't go after them and sue them as president of the corporation of the United States of America. He can go after them as an individual in lieu of being the president of the United States.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And defamation is defamation. It don't matter who you are.
No, not at all. I mean, it shouldn't matter. I mean, you defame somebody, you defame them. I mean, that's what they've been doing to this man for, geez.
Well, not only him, but they did it to Kyle Rittenhouse. He went after Joy Behar. He went after Whoopi. He went after The View, and he won. And here this poor guy was defending himself. Yeah, he had to take a life to do it, but you know what? Then they started defaming him, slandering him. He went after him. Yeah. I don't blame him. Anybody does that, you have the right.
Wasn't he the kid that shot somebody in Wisconsin or something, or held him up with an AR or something like that?
He was protecting himself.
That's right.
After him attacking him, and he protected himself, and he shot him.
Yeah.
He shot him and another one. Killed the one, and the other one's wounded.
Wow. Good for him.
And then same thing, where the one that was wounded went after him, tried to sue him because he got shot, and it's just like stupidity, like that old grandma who shot them two that was breaking into her house, and she killed the one and wounded the other one.
Yeah.
You know, kind of like, you're a bunch of freaking idiots.
Yep. God, ain't that the truth?
We become
yes.
somebody that's just so dumb. And it's like this Todd, okay? He is so stupid. And what I mean by that, he's ignorant because here it is. He's trying to play the narcissist game. He's been disavowed. He's been proven to be a yardbird more times than one. And yet he's such a narcissist that he's going to blame everybody else because he can't handle the truth, which is he's a nitwit. So he's going to be the narcissist just like every other liberal out there and blame everybody else for something that happened to him. For him doing what he did and being disgraced, take responsibility for that. But he can't. He's going to blame everybody else, and here he's blaming all big tech. Well, guess what? Big tech is on the Democrat side 99% of the time. So if they went after you and you're saying, oh, they're the ones who's ruining the news and everything else, that's your damn fault. Because tell you what, and the funny part about it is, I'm even surprised because I've glanced through MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS. The funny part is now they're actually going after Democrats on some things. That's kind of funny.
Good.
So for him to be saying this kind of stuff about big tech and how it's spilling over into the press and how everything's being just destroyed news-wise, like he didn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Come on.
Sure he did.
You know, I might have been born at night, but not last night.
Yeah, right. It's unreal, man. This mainstream media, there's no such thing as journalism anymore. These people are just a bunch of liars. You know?
Exactly.
Bunch of daggum liars.
Yep.
You talking about these judges. Everybody remember that Hannah Dugan lady that let that illegal immigrant out the back door to evade the authorities? Well, she was found guilty the other day, and now she's looking at 5 years in the big house. You remember that story?
Yep, sure do.
Yeah, she's going to go away for a while. Not to mention she's going to be disbarred.
Let's hope.
Won't be able to practice law. I mean,
the good part about this is a federal jury of her own peers found her guilty. So, you know, they sent a message. No matter who you are, you obstruct the federal law, then you're guilty because the American people respect law and order. Nobody is above the law.
That's right.
Yep. And just because you told that illegal and his attorneys to go out the door that the jury uses does not excuse you by saying, oh, well, I told him to go out the hallway and just wait. No, you tell him go that way so you can get away from him.
You got it. I mean, just the nerve to even do something like that. I mean, it's like, holy crap, man. I mean, why would you even, put your freedom on the line to let some illegal, kind of skip court,
I got an interesting take on this. All these people are against these illegals being arrested and deported and everything, right?
Uh-huh.
So, how many that is against all of this, including this judge, how many of them has opened up their house to let them come live with them? How many liberals, how many people, I don't care who you are, red, white, black, brown, whatever, male, female, it don't matter to me, or some kitty cat or doggy dog or whatever you want to call yourself. If you're so against this, then why don't you let these illegals come live with you in your house?
Yep.
Has anybody stepped up and said, okay, I will let them all come live with me? I remember a bunch of them getting on Nancy Pelosi's yard, and she called the cops and had them all arrested. So did Kamala Harris, because they came over her little 2-foot wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Who was that? Chris Murphy, that governor up there in, was it New Jersey or somewhere, that right after Trump got elected, man, they found out that dude had, I think, one or two of them living in his basement or his attic or something. And Trump told him, look, changing of the guard here, dude, you get them out of your house, because if we come find them, you're going to jail with them.
Yep. Yep.
Needless to say, they disappeared really, really quick.
But yeah, if this judge's team right now is fighting mad, but they're trying to do everything they can, because U.S. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said the judge betrayed her oath when she obstructed federal law enforcement during immigration operations, which she did. But her defense team, are saying that she did nothing wrong at all. She was just telling them to go out in the hallway with their lawyers.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all she did. Well, why didn't she have them go out the door? All the general public goes in, and the door where they bring in people that's been arrested. Why does she direct them to go out the door that the jury uses?
Yeah.
What,
Well, she knew that the ICE agents were by the one door, so she led him to another door, told him to go down the road behind the courthouse, but then ICE had already picked up on what she was doing, so then they restaged ICE agents to where she told him to go. So he played right into their hand.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And here it is again. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Stupid prizes, that's right. Man, I wonder what the numbers are up to now, though. I wonder how many people we've gotten out of here.
Oh, I don't know. I know it's growing every day.
Well, you know that Tom Holman said, like, I don't know how long ago that interview was that I heard from him. What, 2-3 weeks ago, maybe a month? He said, as of January, when everybody comes back from the holidays, they're swearing in another 3,800, or was it 10,000? I don't remember exactly what it's thousands of them, though. New ICE agents are being sworn in right after the first of the year.
Huh.
So he said they were mad about our numbers before. They're really going to be mad now, because our numbers are going to triple.
Yeah.
Great. Keep hiring more ICE agents. I believe you can come here, man, but come illegally. I mean, not illegal, come legally, right? I mean, we've got a process in place for a reason.
Right.
So, speaking of process, we've now since found out the process of seizing oil tankers off the coast of Venezuela. The U.S. Coast Guard is pursuing a sanctioned oil tanker near Venezuela as President Trump intensifies his pressure campaign against Venezuela. This is their third ship. They seized the second one this morning, and now they're going after their third one. United States Coast Guard is in active pursuit of a sanctioned dark fleet vessel that is part of Venezuela's illegal sanction evasion. It's flying a false flag and under a judicial seizure order. Reuters reported that another official noted the tanker was operating under sanctions and that it had not been boarded thus far. The official also said interceptions could be taken by flying or sailing near vessels of concern. So, yeah, these Minerva Gloria, that's the name of the oil tanker. So, yeah, that'll be number 3. And you know who they're sending on these ships, don't you? They're dropping them out of helos. They're daggum Navy SEALs.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. SEALs are the best water babies there are.
Yep.
That's just going to go get them.
Good. I hope they keep seasoning them. Keep on seasoning them. I don't know. I think his days are numbered.
Yeah. He needs to be gone. Because he took a country that was very prosperous and very beneficial in a lot of ways, not only to themselves, but to their allies. And he got rid of all that, made it pretty much a socialist country, and here's another thing that I look at. These people are all for socialism and stuff. Move to Venezuela. See how it's really like under him.
Mm-hmm.
See what you think then, because he's killed thousands upon thousands of people.
Well, it's like I tell these people that want to go out here and riot for Palestine and stuff and free Gaza. Well, why don't you go over and live with them?
Yep.
They'll throw your ass off the building too. People don't understand how they live over there, man. They've been killing each other for thousands of years. They ain't going to quit now. You know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
They're just like cavemen, man. Like cavemen.
What have you heard about this? Trump's name on the Kennedy Center?
Oh, yeah.
How bad the Kennedy family is?
Yeah, I heard about it.
In all honesty, I don't know why his name needs to be up there, in all honesty. But, and I do know this, all of the memorials were designated as such with the name by Congress. Now, whether Trump's name going on there was done by Congress or not, I don't know. But I do know that there are some Kennedy family members, like one specifically, she said that as soon as Trump's term is up, she's getting her carpenter license, so it'll be a union job, and she's going to go rip his name off of that Kennedy Center. The Kennedys are, the kinfolk are pretty upset about it, which I don't know why, in all honesty. Trump's name needs to be on it. There's stuff happening that we don't know about, and we never will know about why stuff like that's happening. But yeah, it's just kind of weird. I think Trump could build his own center and have it done, and it'd be just as good as the Kennedy Center.
Well, I know the Kennedy Center was all but basically closed down. They quit having events there and everything leading up to this presidency, and Trump went in there and renovated it, revitalized the place, and now they're having balls there again and stuff. So I think he feels like since he's had his hand in it, they need to put his name on it, which I don't really so much care if his name's up there or if it's not. I mean, why do you need to have your name on a building that's named after the Kennedys? But,
right.
Yeah. But I kind of get both sides of that, really. But I mean, it seems kind of petty to me.
It does.
Well,
it's like with the ballroom that he's building there onto the White House. I'm pretty sure it's going to be called the Trump Ballroom. Which that ain't no problem because there's the Lincoln Room and there's all these other rooms with these names on it. So that part's no big thing to me.
Yeah.
One thing I had here though is I pulled up house.gov and I'm looking at text of bills for the week of December the 15th. And I'm looking through all these bills that could be considered for under suspension of rules, items that may be considered pursuant to a rule, items that may be considered for them to debate over, and stuff like that. And ain't none of these, I mean, some of them are kind of weird, but like the first one here is Senate Rule 222 be considered for suspension of rules as a Whole Milk for Healthy Kids Act of 2025. Okay. Sloan Canyon Conservation and Lateral Pipeline Act. The reauthorize the Junior Duck Stamp Conservation and Design Program Act of 1994. The Pitt River Land Transfer Act of 2025. Cape Fox Land Entitlement Finalization Act of 2025. University of Utah Research Park Act. You know, I'm just looking through some of these, kind of like, what? To amend the John D. Daniel Jr. Conservation and Recreation Act to reauthorize the National Volcano Early Warning and Monitoring System as amended. Okay. The Save Our Seas 2.0 amendments. Strengthening agency management and oversight of software assets as amended. To amend the Mineral Leasing Act for acquired lands to make the act applicable to hard rock minerals as amended. What?
Wow.
Here's one items to be considered pursuant to a rule. Power Plant Reliability Act. Kayla Hamilton Act. I don't know what that is. Pet and Livestock Protection Act. Pet and Livestock Protection Act. Well, I'm going to have to look into that one, see what the hell that one is.
What is this stuff they're going to be voting on, or what are they?
Yeah, it's all for this one here is to be considered items to be considered pursuant to a rule.
Huh.
And items to be considered that they could debate on. Directing the president to Section 5C of the War Powers Resolution to remove the United States Armed Forces from hostilities with presidentially designated terrorist organizations in the Western Hemisphere. To direct the removal of United States Armed Forces from hostilities within or against Venezuela that have not been authorized by Congress.
Wow.
Providing for consideration of the bill H.R. 6703 to ensure access to affordable health insurance, providing for consideration of the bill H.R. 498 to amend Title, what is that, X1X, XIX of the Social Security Act to prohibit federal Medicare funding for gender transition procedures for minors, providing for consideration of the bill H.R. 3492 to amend Section 116 of Title 18 U.S. States Code with respect to genital and bodily mutilation or chemical castration of minors, and relating to the consideration of the bill H.R. 4776 to amend the National Environmental Policy Act of 1969 to clarify ambiguous provisions and facilitate a more effective, efficient, and timely environmental review process. That was all one. That is House Resolution 953.
Wow. Gee whiz. What does it say when they're voting on those?
No, that one I just read, the last couple ones I just read are up for consideration.
Oh.
To be discussed. Now, let me go up here. Let me go back. That's bills this week. For recent votes. Do No Harm and Medicare Act. It passed the House. Passed the Pet and Livestock Production Act passed on 12/18. The Mining Acts passed. The Speed Act. I don't know what the Speed Act is. Yeah, they're really not doing any damn thing. They're really not doing anything that is beneficial.
Not surprising.
Now I can see what has been sent to the president for signature. Where's it at? Bills and reports. Bills presented to the president. Verifying that I am human. Check, it needs to review my settings to make sure I'm not a bot. Okay, these are the bills that have been sent to the president, and there's 137 of them.
Jeez.
Or 137 pages. There's 100 per page, and there's 13,694 of them been sent to the president.
No, he's got somebody who reads them things and just gives him the short hairs on it.
Yep. I might have to look through this to kind of see what's what. There's a VA Home Loan Program Reform Act. Being a vet, I'm going to have to look into that one. La Paz County Solar Energy and Job Creation Act.
What was it? Solar energy?
Yeah. La Paz, LAPAZ County Solar Energy and Job Creation Act. Paul A. Goosner from Arizona introduced this.
Oh. Huh. I wonder what that could be, though.
IRS Math and Taxpayer Help Act.
Yeah. They'll probably do the same thing in that bill you just did. Laugh at it.
Yeah.
See, you got these congressmen, these senators that sit in their offices all day with nothing to do. You know, they got to make it look like their constituents that they're doing, at least trying to do something.
Right.
I mean, how many majority-wise do you think, constituency-wise, people that physically do exactly what you're doing right now to see what their lawmakers are doing for their districts?
Oh yeah, I pull up the state's stuff all the time. Ain't none of it like where I live. I pull up the state's House and Senate stuff, bills, look at it. Ain't none of it for where I live. It's all for like the big cities, for all your major metropolises in the state that I live in.
Yep.
Kind of like, and I'm constantly getting this shit on my phone. We need your input on this for the state of Oklahoma. Well, none of it relates to up here where I'm at because nobody comes up here. I'm up here I'm 20 minutes, pretty much 20 minutes from the panhandle. Ain't nobody come up here.
Yeah.
That's why they had the big land rush up here, because nobody comes here. The Indians didn't even want it.
Jeez. So how far is it to the nearest gas station from your house?
45 miles.
To the nearest gas station? Wow. What about grocery store? Hey, Chris, you broke up, buddy. You froze. Hello? Hey there. Your screen's froze, Chris. I can't hear anything you're saying if you're talking. Waiting on him to come back up now. If he doesn't come back, I'm probably just going to end the stream because we've been on just about an hour. Give it just a second here. Oh, he just said his phone died. He's coming back on now. Oh, there he is.
My phone died. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Get to talking, you know. But where? How close is the nearest grocery store?
45 miles.
So the same thing as the gas station?
Mm-hmm.
45 miles. Wow.
That ain't nothing.
Holy shit.
I've worked on ranches that. Well, I was out in Nevada. I worked on a ranch, the closest town for basically anything you needed was 100 miles.
Oh wow.
You know, so that's nothing.
That's hard for me to fathom.
We come out here in the middle of nowhere. That way, if you want to go outside and take a pee, you can. Ain't nobody gonna see nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, where we live, it's probably a good 25 miles. But not the nearest gas station is only about 5 miles.
I like it.
Yeah.
I don't like living around a lot of people for the simple fact is because everybody wants to be in your business set.
Yeah, right, exactly. That's for dang sure. That's for dang sure.
You know, living out here, you give up a lot of things. But I'm used to that. I've lived this way my entire life. So it's no skin off my nose. But one of the best things about living out here is I don't hear nothing. I hear traffic going down the road every once in a while. But since I've lived out here, I've heard sirens twice when they were looking for somebody. Other than that, I never hear a siren. You don't hear honking horns. Here it is. It's 6 o'clock at night. There's no traffic. None. No traffic at all.
Yeah.
You know, and I can go outside at any time in the evening and I can look up, see the stars. I can look up, see the moon. I can listen to sounds. There is trains 40 miles away. And when everything's just right, I can hear those trains at nighttime.
Wow.
You know, so I'm happy.
Peaceful. Yeah, that's peaceful though. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty quiet out here. I mean, we get coyotes and stuff, but other than that, you don't hear no traffic or sirens or nothing like that. But
there's a lot of yotes out here. I got a seasonal creek that runs through my place, and the yotes have got their homes down there, and right at dark they come out.
Really?
You might have 3 or 4 of them together, but it sounds like there's 20 or 30 of them. All of a sudden, you're hearing another batch over here, and you hear another batch over here, and then they all get together. Then they really go off.
Man, they do damage on cattle, don't they? The little calves that are born.
No, coyotes normally won't kill a live animal like a calf. A wolf will in a heartbeat, but a coyote don't. Coyote are mostly your scavengers. Now they will go after like small deer, baby deer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But the 99% of the time, unless the coyote's got rabies or something, they won't go after calves.
Huh. Wonder why they'll go after a fawn, but they won't go after a calf.
Yeah. If you had a big old cow about 1,400 pounds coming after you, would you go after it?
Yeah. Well, that's why they put donkeys out there, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. People use donkeys. They use llamas. I know people that even small people that you only have a couple of cows. They got dogs out with
Great
guard
Pyrenees.
dogs. Your Great Pyrenees, your Anatolian Shepherds, stuff like
Anatolian
that.
Shepherds. Yeah.
But they also have goats and sheep too. So those dogs are out there all the time. Them cattle are used to it. But it's like there's nothing to let people come out and go shoot some yotes at nighttime with their night vision.
That's fun. That's some fun right there.
Yeah, my son does that. There's people that call him up, and so him and a buddy of his go out and set up, and they'll stay out for about 6 hours and drop about 20 or 30 of them.
Yeah.
Then in the morning, they'll go out and pick them up.
Yeah, it's always fun to shoot a moving target. We put this thing called a screaming coon call. It's like a little box. It sounds like a raccoon getting mauled by a coyote. It's got a little tail on the top. It goes like this. Mm-hmm. And they say that company guarantees you that sells that device. If there is a coyote within a mile of that box, when you set that thing off, them coyotes are coming to that screaming coon call.
Oh yeah, coyotes got really good hearing.
Yep,
really good hearing. But I see them every morning. On my way to work, they'll run across the road in front of me, and I'll see them. There's times I go out to feed my calves, my steers, and I might see one or two. But here lately, right where I'm at, I haven't had no bobcats. And there used to be a lot of bobcats when this creek ran full time. Well, it was 3 months ago. 3 months ago, I actually seen a bobcat just right outside my pens where the steers come in to eat. And it just kind of floored me. And then 2 days later, I seen two. So it's good. The bobcats are coming back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need him to come back in. But at one time, the guy who owns this place that I'm leasing it from, when he was alive, he told me that him and his son, within a 2-day time period, they caught probably 15 bobcats. There was just that many of them.
Wow.
So.
Holy crap. All right, man. Well,
speaking of coyotes, I can hear them out there.
Can you?
Yep.
Sound little yapping dogs.
Yep.
Until they
don't come up close to the house. If they did, it wouldn't bother me none because Wizard would fight them. But, I got all them damn cats out there that they need to go somewhere. Somebody can come get them or something. But them coyotes don't come up close to the house.
Yeah. Surprised they don't grab them cats.
It wouldn't hurt my feelings if they did.
I was going to say, you want them gone anyway.
How many of them is there? There's 6 of them out there. I got 2 of them in the house, which are one's the mama and the other one's I think we've had her 10 years, 11 years, something like that. And then there's like 2 wild tomcats out there in the shop. They go in and out.
Yeah.
Now, when I had some chickens here, I did have a hawk get a chicken right outside my back door. Other than that, it's a coon will get them or something like that. And you can always tell because the head will be gone.
Yep.
But I never had anything else other than bull snakes getting my eggs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But no, the coyotes don't come in.
Huh. Wow.
Which is kind of a shame because I need some night shooting practice.
Yeah, they're fun to shoot at night.
Yep.
Get you a little red dot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, believe it or not, I can see pretty damn good at nighttime. I just take these glasses off and I can see really good. And I just got an old 30-aught, and I just go out there and if they're within 100 yards, I can nail them. If I can make out their silhouette, 99% of the time I'll get them.
Yeah. Coyote, you hit them anywhere, man. They're eventually going to die. You ain't got to hit them in the broadside, just shoot
Yep.
them in the face, shoot them in the butt. It don't matter. That bullet hits them, they're going to go off and die somewhere.
Right.
Well,
it's like I made that video the other day of, since we're talking about Washington and everything. I made that video the other day when I was piling shit up in the manure up in the pens. And how big those piles were. Just imagine if a bunch of us ranchers went up to Washington, D.C. with skid steers and bay loaders and started piling up all the manure that's up there, how long it would take. And I've had people email me and text me and send messages to me, said it'd take 100 years to clean everything up.
Damn right. I don't doubt it a bit, man. Don't doubt it a bit.
Well, I better get off here and let this phone charge up.
All right, buddy. It sounds good, Chris. We'll do it again sometime.
You bet. Sounds like a plan.
All righty.
Let me leave you with this. For the people who don't realize this, you need to really start thinking about this. If you sit on a wooden fence too long, you're going to get a splinter in your butt. Get your ass up, put your feet down, and go forwards. Never go backwards.
That's right. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Bye for now.
Later.
All right. Take it easy.